Yeah, we are on. We are on, everybody. How are you doing? Oh, so I've been doing all right. Yeah, I've just been f- doing some stuff on in regards to my doing music and stuff and all. Got a group. Well, did have a group, but I make music with the beauty Celeste, who should get in here at any time if when she wants, and because I do want uh because I actually do want a bit of her input when it comes to this. She sent me this, what we're gonna be going over. It's called the U.S. It's called I honestly think, I don't know if people are thinking of the Nesara Gesara stuff is coming anytime soon. But I will tell you this: the uh, the economy isn't crashing. I wouldn't say. I would say though, however, it yeah, the ways of old, or at least the ways of the 90s and on, I should say, or maybe the 80s and on, are kind of coming to a close. So I am going to have Celeste on in any minute. Anybody who wants to jump in, come on in, come on in. And we are gonna start this here.
Well, it's happening. Without much of a warning, banks are now closing your accounts. This means checking accounts, savings accounts, even credit accounts. They are closing them. And guess what? It's because you're either not using it or you're not using it the way they want you to use it. I'm going to break down what's happening, what Wells Fargo and what Bank of America are doing right now, this month of June, and how you could see your money actually go to the states. I want to break this down in just a moment, explain what is going on and why many people are extremely frustrated about their money potentially being taken from them and giving to the states. So,
Because nobody really pays attention to what the banks do. Hence why so many people. Hence, hence why we've got Trump. Get, we've got P47 getting yeah, just starting getting us back. I would say not just like back on the gold standard, but in talks with the Vatican. You know how how we were talking about, like he was climbing up about being the next pope in a few, like a couple to a few weeks ago. This is what this is why this is what's happening here. It's the Nesara Gesara Genesis. This is the start of the gold standard.
I'll break this down in just a moment, but first, all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin.
What if there was a way to know if a stock will be bullish or bearish the day before? The truth is, there actually is one way. Is your trading account suffering right now, but you're wondering, what do I do to start winning consistently and start making those big returns you've seen other traders make, the returns that you know are possible? Here's the honest truth. I struggled like that for a while. Trading did not replace my job for 15 years until I basically had a stroke of luck. My cousin, who's a professional stock trader, making over $2 million a year, finally had me over to his house and show me some behind the curtain stuff, so to speak. I know that sounds a little storybook, but it was quite honestly the
Oh,
So let me ask you this one question.
that was an ad, not part of this video. Even though that was kind of.
How frustrated would you be if all of a sudden you went to your bank account at Wells Fargo or Bank of America and you realize there's no money in it? The bank closed your account.
I'd be beyond pissed, and hence why everyone. This is why. I'm not an economic professional by any means. Let me tell you this. I'm not a money professional. I'm not an economist by any means. However, and I do believe in practicing what you preach. I do practice this though. Let's just say this is why it's always, 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 always useful to have a hard copy, if you know what I mean. Always have a hard copy in your hand. No, not a card, cold hard, in either fine metals or pay or cash, or coins or quarters. You need a hard copy. This is exactly why they wanted you. Another reason why they're trying to make everything digital, everything easily traceable. It's not just to hack you or anything, but it's not easy to trace. If you have a hard copy of something, like let's say if you go to the store, if I go to the store and I give somebody $10 for something that costs like $8.75, I'm gonna get another dollar bill or a dollar coin and a quarter back, and then that is a hard copy from. So I have a hard copy in something that cannot be lost without my. Of course, it can be lost if I am not paying attention, of course, but that cannot be taken. You could easily taken away or swiped. There's a hard copy. This is why it's safe to get. Not safe, but it is important to have a hard copy. You don't know what is meddling around when you just have banks doing your accounting for you. This is important. Yes, but it's stressful to count my money and count my pennies, and I don't want to do that. That's why I have an account. Yeah, you know what? I understand it, but kind of better safe than sorry. That's how I see it.
And sent the balance to the state. Well, that's what's happening. Look at this. It says goodbye to the Wells Fargo bank accounts in June. Wells Fargo to begin major closures.
Ooh. Now, this is important here. This is looking interesting. and hopefully, yeah, I'm gonna have Celeste in it's Celeste on a few minutes. Me, she'll be here later in the show. But yeah, we can revisit this again. But geez,
Now, why would they do this? Well, we're going to address that in a second. But again, it's not just Wells Fargo. Bank of America could cancel certain accounts as well. And there are certain rules that you must know. In regards to Bank of America and to Wells Fargo, after so many years of having what they call an inactive account, they can legally close your account without telling you, without sending a notice or doing anything. They will simply shut your account down. I have had one of my accounts shut down recently simply because I didn't use it. I just used it to park money in it. That was it. Now, it didn't have a lot of money. It was something that I pretty much forgot about, but it had a decent amount that if you lost, you're probably going to be somewhat upset. Now, am I upset about it? Well, I can go and get it back. But again, it's just going to take some time. Now, here's what you need to keep in mind. Wells Fargo is now closing accounts that have been inactive for 16 months. Normally, for most banks, you have to have an account that is inactive for about 2 to 3 years. And again, it depends on the state that you live in. So,
yeah, how much do you want to bet you know where that is going? That's being shipped overseas. That's not that's not being that's not being to that's not being sent back to either the owners or the people who have the accounts. Nor is, I bet you anything, it's not even going to de- to help decrease taxes and all. I bet you anything, it's not doing any. It's not going to how should I say, kind of like freaking, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going on. I'm just I'm a rambler. I'm a rambler.
just know certain states have a shorter inactivity period. Now, here's something that I want you to take away from this. If you have a bank account that you hardly ever use, meaning you don't deposit money into it, you don't write checks, you don't use it for, take direct deposits out of it, right? You're not withdrawing money, from it, right? You're not paying off bills or certain things like that. That's a problem. Here's what most people don't realize. An inactive account, even if you have a bank account or a credit card, and this was something that happened to me, I have a credit card that has a yearly fee. I just assumed, right, and I wasn't using it that much, the yearly fee was $95. Nothing major. I wasn't using it. It was all paid off. Okay, it didn't have a balance on it. It had a pretty high, limit that I could use and charge, but there was nothing on it. I didn't use it for probably close to 3 years, and they closed it. It wasn't through Wells Fargo. It wasn't through Bank of America. It's through a different company, and they closed it. Now, what if I needed that? What if that was for emergencies, and I kept that card in my wallet and tried to use it for an emergency of whatever it may be, and it didn't work? What happens then? Well, I'd be screwed, essentially. Now, here's what you need to do. According to financial experts, and according to one of my friends who's a bank manager, he said it's really simple. To keep an account active, all you have to do is just make regular transactions. And these are things like deposits, and it doesn't have to be thousands of dollars. It can be as simple as a $5 or a $10 deposit. Just go and put some money in it. Show it so it looks like it's an active account. You can make a deposit. You can even make a withdrawal. And this is something that I learned years ago. Just transfer money between one account to another. That's all you need to do. And so that's something that I started doing probably about 2 to 3 months ago, when Wells Fargo and Bank of America came out and said they're going to start closing accounts. I started to just make automatic transfers. Goes from one account, transfers to another account. Then a little bit of money from that account transfers to a different account. And then a little bit of money from that account transfers back to the other account. It just shows that they're active, right? But again, according to the bank manager, that's perfectly fine. Here's another one. It says withdraw money regularly. Don't leave your account just sitting there. Now here's the crazy thing. Somebody wrote to me the other day, I couldn't find the exact comment, but they commented on a video and said that their account has been closed. Keep in mind, Wells Fargo said they were going to start closing accounts on June 1st. That's 3 days ago. So people are already experiencing this. But here's the crazy thing. Most people don't know it's even coming. And this isn't just for savings accounts and checking accounts. Even credit cards are being canceled. They're being closed down as we speak. So if you have a credit card that is paid off, keep that in mind. Okay? Now, here's the other thing, and I'll get to this in a moment, but it's not just paid off cards. There are also reports that I've seen just in the past 24 hours. People that have a balance on their credit cards, but they haven't actually used the credit card, meaning no new charges. Some of those people are seeing their accounts get closed or pretty much blocked. They cannot use the account to make a new purchase, but they're required to continue making payments until the balance is paid off. That's what we're going to see. Banks are concerned that there's a lot of risk. Banks don't want to take on any additional risk than they already are. So what are they doing? They're just preventing it. They're minimizing their risk. And the way that they're doing that is they're blocking people from getting loans. They're putting greater restrictions as to who is able to get a loan. Not just anybody can get a loan. You have to meet certain requirements. Credit score has to be on par.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to make a certain amount of money to cover whatever debt it is that you're trying to incur, whether it's on a credit card, whether it's on a home loan, a car loan. They just want to make sure that they are protecting themselves. In the meantime, they're putting more and more Americans in somewhat harm's way, because now, and again, I've seen this for several years, where more and more Americans every single year cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. And we talked about this just a handful of months ago. There's reports saying that almost 50% of Americans couldn't afford a $400 emergency without a credit card. So half of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency without a credit card. And now you take away that credit card. What does that mean for most people? That's what we don't know. But the reason why I'm making this video is so that you're aware that if you are, let's say you're at 15 months of inactivity on your bank account today, you have 1 month to start using it. Deposit money, okay, withdraw money, transfer money, okay. And some people say that all you have to do is go in and get a transcript. Why would you get a transcript and pay money like most banks are charging? Why would you go and do that? Even if you have a paid account, let's say it costs you $14.95 a month to have your account, that is not a charge. That is not activity. So make sure you are active in your account so you don't lose your money. Because according to multiple reports, this money is not just going to go to the bank and make them more profitable. No, they're going to send this money to the state, and you will have to go to the state to retrieve it. So I just want you to be aware of what's happening.
It goes into funding the ones who are not native here, if you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about the non-native Americans, but I'm just talking about but I think this is that is very important because this is huge what I'm about to show you here. Um, so check this out right here. What I'm a You ready? Oh, hey, so yeah, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. I made it a point to finally go outside in the back today to get a little bit of sun, not too much, but just, some vitamin D production, some serotonin production, It's good for the soul.
Yeah, it very
So,
much is.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. And yeah, I just played that video about the bank accounts closing, and something came into my head, and I think I know what's going on here.
What's up?
Check this out.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Okay. Of course, they have to have a freaking stupid advertisement blocking the title of the fucking say full list of Bank of America closures coming in 2025 as branches shut in 10 states.
Really?
So
Wow.
their Bank of America is closing a number of branches across the US in 2025. I'm like saying this sound that sounds like a bunch of like what you were
Hello?
the video that you sent me
Uh-huh.
kind of sounds like this is what it's either some here sorry there was a bit of a glitch there,
It's okay.
but
YouTube is messing with us, huh?
come after me, you motherfuckers. You I mean, like, I'm surprised the commies who are saying fuck the big banks are not going after this.
Mhm.
It's like, or at least cheering for this. But yeah, here, no, the Bank of America. It sounded like a lot of banks are closing. That sounds like
Yeah.
bank foreclosure. It's like, and I'm like saying, are banks going are filing for bankruptcy or some shit? Because all of that money that has gone overseas, that's who paid them out. It was not just exclusively our tax dollars. It was the banks, the big banks. Went all over the world and all overseas. Yeah, so I'm like saying, I honestly think that based off of what you're saying, U.S. bank accounts getting closed in June. That's yeah. It kind of sounds like things banks are about to go or file are about to file for either bankruptcy or foreclosure.
Wow. Yeah, I remember seeing that too. That's pretty Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to happen eventually. I just didn't know. I didn't know when.
No, this is now, and I'm like saying that's why I talked about the Nesara Gesara Yugen thing, and so this is the start of it.
Yep.
This is the start of
Oh
it.
yeah, something has to end in order for something else to come in.
Yeah, and by the looks and sounds of it, the credit. I'm going to read a little bit of this article. Bank of America is closing a number of branches across the U.S. in 2025. That is this year. And this comes as customers are opting to do their banking online instead of personal brick and mortar branches, and is not not just Bank of America. Major banks like Chase and Wells Fargo are rapidly closing branches.
Wow.
An ongoing trend of bank branches shutting down nationwide has worsened due to the pandemic, according to the Sun. I think that's in Arizona.
Wow.
The U.S. Saw the highest number of bank failures since 2008. Recession, along with the housing crisis. So don't give us another housing crisis, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I could tell you from just my own personal experience. I mean, of course, I haven't been able to work due to my issue. I think I will be back at work in about a week or two, though, which is good. But yeah, right now I have no money. I have insufficient funds. That's for obvious reasons, because I haven't been able to work in about a month now. So, after this accident, so that's kind of why. But fortunately, I have a little bit of cash. But also save your pennies, because as of they're not going to mint pennies anymore, so they're going to be they're going to go up in value because it's going to be a limited edition.
Yeah.
Or limited supply, I should say. I think I think they're going to stop producing them in 2026, so next year. So save your pennies, because they will be worth something in the coming years, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, they're gonna starting to become collector's items.
Yeah. Don't spend it.
Let me give you my 2 cents has now become let me give you my $5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fiat money's pretty much, it's gonna be deemed worthless pretty soon here, if it isn't already.
Yeah, no, I mean, you literally could buy way back when you could buy a whole thing of groceries for like $2.
Oh,
maybe not back in the 20s and all.
Yeah, well, the money was gold backed. It was backed by gold, and yeah, it was so people paid with actual metals like silver and things like that, copper and silver, and if gold, if they had gold. But it went a long way, a little bit went a long way, because it was worth a lot.
Wow. Looking even in California, the Alameda, San Jose, that's not far away. That is not far away from where we know.
Oh, Grass Valley. Wow.
These are the banks, Bank of Americas, that are shutting down. That are foreclosing.
Whoa. Yeah, there was one near me. There were two. There used to be two Bank of Americas in Morgan Hill, but one closed on Cochrane, and we still have the one down here, but who knows for how long.
I honestly think that because I'm like saying this sounds like bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I think the banks are because they are helping the government fund these endless wars, and also give all this crazy amount of money for these foreigners. But do you know what? This is what I this is this is the genesis of Nesara Gesara, and there was a recent interview on CNBC with Trump saying this. This is going to be a bit of a minute here.
Okay.
Now, some people really suffered. It was ridiculous what they were doing, but in the end, they came around, but they came around for the wrong reasons. They came around only because they wanted votes, and they saw that tens of millions of people were against them because of what they were doing. I also want to express my strong support for the efforts of lawmakers in Congress as they work on bills to provide regulatory certainty for dollar-backed Trump Bitcoin and the digital assets market. They're working very hard on that. This is a tremendous opportunity for economic growth and innovation in our financial sector, and Trump Bitcoin will really go a long way. I think there's going to be a tremendous, we feel like pioneers in a way, of tremendous method of growth. And
Oh, that he's launching his own coin, Trump
Wow.
Bitcoin.
That's
I guess.
amazing. Yeah.
Let's check this something else out. We got to get a little bit more into this, because what the banks freaking shutting down, that is, I honestly believe that's just this is the genesis of Nesara Gesara.
I do too. That's exactly what I was thinking when I'm seeing this stuff.
I'm not
And
I'm
it's
not
33 minutes. 33, the number.
Oh, this
As you said that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So let's check this out. I want to dive a little deep dives. You're great deep divers.
Slow motion this side. Hmm.
Oh God. This is AI voice acting, but that's fine.
Oh.
All in all, holistically, it's not. Realistically, it is okay, as long as it's a tool.
Hmm.
Okay, shut. Blah 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 blah. All right. Okay, no, I'm not. I don't want to do this. I want some news. I don't want to be I don't want to be preached.
Mm-hmm.
I not not that I don't mind that. I mean,
Yeah,
people
like
just
I like Julie Green's I like her predictions and I think she's on point, but just for me personally, when she gets into, and I'm okay, I believe in God and I believe in Christ, but sometimes, she gets into the whole preachy thing and I'm just not. I just want to hear what's happening. I want to hear what her prophecy is. If I want to read scripture, or, I'll just open my own Bible or something. Like it's okay. A little bit's okay, but I don't know. It's just my own preference.
I mean, we
I
get
mean, I
preached.
respect it. I do. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like saying, come on, give us some updates of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just came across this.
Hmm.
This channel called Gesara News. Let's see.
Okay.
Boom. Go. Uh. Okay. Here we go. This looks more like it.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's water.
Eh,
Pure, fresh water. Mm.
Oh, shut up. All right. Okay. Trump's tariffs to remain after courts grant stay. No after this. Trump vows to reduce taxes for working class Americans by as much as 13%. I wish he got rid of all taxes, but
Hmm.
that's
I
just
think
me.
that's what's happening. I know he wants to. If you make
No tax on
less than
social.
150,000 a year or 200,000 a year, I think it is that you won't even need to pay income tax. I don't know if you're still going to have to report, but like you won't owe anything if you make less than 200K a year. That's what the consensus is now. I don't know if anything changed or not, but that'll be nice.
Actually, I
And that's
actually
going to be the majority of the population, actually.
you we are taxed up the
Mm-hmm.
ass, and do you know what's crazy? I don't know if this was true, but the founding fathers fought a war because of a 2% tax.
Yeah.
Like, and
No,
it's
I
like
think he's going to eliminate it. I really do. That's been the
we
consensus for a long time, but he can't say it like that. He can't put it out there like that. But I think it is coming to that, especially with tariffs, because the tariffs are going to replace that. That's the point of tariffs.
well, yeah, the point of tariffs is to basically replace the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because before 1913 we didn't we weren't paying income tax.
No, no. I honestly think
Now
that
we
that
pay taxes on every freaking thing, including our own homes, which is crazy. Like, it's crazy, even let's say you paid a 20, 30-year mortgage off. If you don't pay your property tax, the government could still seize your property, even though you paid for it. That's what's insane. It's like, so in that sense, you don't really own it. So,
no.
the whole thing of you owe nothing to be happy, we pretty much live like that now. It's just, the globalists want to take it a step beyond that. But we pretty much are there now, or have been,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you don't really own your property if that's the case, if you have to pay the government for it. It's insane.
Yeah,
That's
no.
your
No,
property. You earned it, and they have a hand on it, like if you don't pay them. So it basically, like, you don't even own it.
no. No. I mean,
That's one of the reasons why I never looked to buying a house, because when I learned that, I'm just like, what's the point of getting a house? I mean, I understand it, like you want a legacy, but like, say, that just sucks that they could just take it away, because say you were like, if you pass on and your kids inherit it, but they can't afford the tax for whatever reason, something happens, like they could seize it from them too.
you want to know what this is going to sound very, very, very ultra conservative
Mm-hmm.
to say, even though I'm not ultra conservative by any means, like at least not socially. But I can understand the gripes of this.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of being even like able to like own land and putting and investing in all that stuff, believe it or not, um it how should I say this, that what there the reason why you were actually given land, given a certain amount because you enrolled in the military, you
Mm.
know. So you were given a certain amount of grants, especially because here's our gratitude, here's a house, here's the this, here's all
Wow.
that and the third. And that is actually and so it wasn't just like a tax, just tax cuts or anything. But if I recall correctly, the reason why a lot of things were a lot more affordable was because this is going to sound regressive, politically regressive. But um, it was because of military service. You can and only people in the military could own land,
Mm-hmm.
could vote, could do all this, and as time went, and that is exactly why it was pushed up until I would say the 70s or even the 80s for the US to always punch out strong soldiers and patriotism and all this other stuff. And believe it or not, that is when the there were tariffs and basically little to no taxes going on during those years, was because it was all owned by the soldiers.
Hmm.
You can,
Interesting. I didn't
and
know that, actually.
well, it was government based. It was so ideally it was kind of socialist. Hey, hey, and it wasn't socialist in terms of like the taxpayer paying for everything, but our taxes went directly back into the schools, and it went back directly back into it actually funded a lot of a lot of our lifestyles. It was run properly, but
Mm-hmm.
as soon as there
Yeah,
were
but you
start
benefited from it. Now we don't benefit. We don't even, well, Doge is exposing a lot of the fraud. So, we
It
have an
is.
idea of what where money's going, but it used to be like, shit, where's our money going? Because we're not benefiting from it, like.
A lot of people, and this is why, in my opinion, uh there's this discussion whether or not to get out voting rights. It's not exclusively because of it's not exclusively because and I think that Trump may, I don't know if it's going to be Trump, or I should say P47. I don't think if P47 or someone else is going to try to revert back to the olden times where you actually need to serve in the military to vote.
I don't know if he's going to push it that far, but that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he'll do that though. That would be, a lot of people would find that a bit extreme, but who
Well,
knows?
that's reverting back to, that's actually that's the way things were back 50, 60 years ago.
No, I believe it. I just don't know if he's going to do that. I think he's bringing some, but I could be wrong. Who knows?
What do you think would need to happen, especially to get rid of these taxes? Because these taxes are not, because there have been an extraordinary amount of taxes and fundings from that went overseas, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
How do we make that money go back to us? Or how do you think 47 is going to make that return that money to us that we lost to Zelensky?
Well, I think that's the idea behind tariffs. But didn't he do deal with the Middle East with Qatar? They
Yeah,
gave him $1 trillion, like 3 trillion, or something crazy like that. So
yeah,
I think
and
that's going to go into the national debt or make up for a lot of our debt, but also the tariffs.
yeah.
And also, I think the other thing is, given that you know, we're going to be competitive with BRICS now, because about BRICS, Brazil, Russia, China, India. What's the other one? Can't think of what starts with the C. I know Saudi was on the fence of joining BRICS, but they never actually made the official decision. And in fact, they did a partnership with Trump. That was what that meeting was about.
Oh, so the U.S.
Yeah.
is the U.S. in a, because look at we were in a Cold War with Russia in the 80s and 90s. You
Hmm.
know, the arms race and kind of stuff. Well, that's the arms race stuff was the USSR. That was in the 60s. Right after World War II. The Cold War, I should say. But I honestly think that, are we going back to a Cold War with Russia and China, or at least maybe not the Soviets, but with the communists?
Hmm. Possibly.
Because this is
But
This is
now
kind
we're
of.
partnering with Saudi Arabia and, Abu Dhabi and stuff. So I think that's going to really benefit the US economically. It's going to,
Mm,
and I think we're not going to join BRICS. I used to believe that we would join BRICS, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to have, this is my guess anyway, he's going to put our money on the gold standard. We will be back on the gold standard. I don't know about this year. It may happen later this year. If not this year, the next year, I believe. And but also cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, XDC, and there's other ones like HBAR, and I know people talk about Shiba. A lot of those are going to be backed by metals. precious
Mm.
metals and even base metals. And so I think that so I think it'll be crypto, and it's always good to have, they always talk about having silver and gold, and to have I mean, most people can't afford gold. I mean, I certainly can't afford to go out and buy gold, but if you can get a fraction of it, that's excellent, or at least, but if you get, I mean, silver is still undervalued, sorely undervalued. And once, in fact, it's, we get it for dirt cheap compared to what the true worth is. So I would recommend, if you can, to get some silver. And there's a lot of people who are hard up and they can't even really do that right now, or it's hard for them. So, but if you can even get a fraction of it, that would be smart, just so you have physical assets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of why I think why I did that video not a while ago, stating that I think that's where.
And save your pennies, because they're going to go up in value since they're no longer going to be produced.
Literally save your pennies.
They're going to go up too, I predict. So don't spend it.
Should we do a drawing on this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you have your cards with you?
I do, but let's see. I'm gonna have to put my phone down here. Okay. Hi. Okay, so. Okay, so what was the question?
I think. The question was about the pennies.
Okay. Since
like how much are pennies actually going to be worth now that they're going to be discontinued?
Okay. Will the US penny go up in value within the next coming years, since they will no longer be produced? Is it estimated that they will be a collector's item, or at least or go up in value and be worth more than they are worth now? Please, thank you, Spirit. Please answer me honestly and clearly and in a way that I can understand. Thank you. Okay. All right. Will pennies go up in value in the next coming years? Is it recommended to save the pennies? What do we see for the penny, the US penny? Oh, Six of Swords, moving from rocky waters to calmer waters. So that's a good thing. That's a good sign. I think. I don't know about this year. Possibly starting next year, in the years after, it will be, because I got Knight of Wands. Oh yeah, and Wands is actually fast. Because if I got Pentacles, Cups, that would be a slower movement or slower transition. So I think it will pretty quickly, like within the next year or so. So yeah.
Is this
one? So it's going from a knight to a king.
So so they're gonna go up in price.
They will. Yep. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. So that's the Pentacle card. Yep.
Save your coins, everybody.
Yep.
This is why they're saying, "Oh, we're going into a cashless society. You need to use this. Screw the pennies." As then they freaking collect the pennies. You don't want those. They're freaking worthless. Shh. It's like, no. Now, if you want to talk about, I don't know. I was about to go somewhere very anti-Semitic. I was going to go to an anti-Semitic direction with
Oh my
that,
God.
but it's just like uh, that sort of game. It's like
Oh,
if you want to say if you I don't want to get into it.
okay. Yeah. Um, it's all good. In response
No,
to that, I'm just gonna say this. I love race jokes, okay? And it's not that I'm against or antagonistic to any specific people. I just think they're funny, and stereotypes are funny, and to
they're
make
funny
jokes
because
about the stereotypes, there's humor in it because there's a little bit of truth in it. Let's
there's
admit,
merit. There's merit.
like I
There's
love the
merit to
white
it.
trash jokes, the cracker
Oh,
jokes, because they're essentially true. I mean,
yeah.
and same with
Oh,
any
I'll laugh.
other, I mean, ethnicity and group, just because it's like, let's admit there's a bit of truth in it, and it's funny. It's kind of funny to laugh about sometimes. It doesn't mean you hate anybody. I mean, geez.
No, but I
So
mean, like, let's be real. I mean, I'm gonna get socially, a little social here, but I mean, like, that's exactly why white people are the biggest advocates of LGBTQ plus
mhm.
because they can just that gives them a permission to screw everything, anything, and everything they desire. You could just even normalizing it does so because they want to get rid of the stigma of of um of plugging their Peter into something. I mean, like the biggest I mean, like let's just face it. I mean, I'm white. I know the white race is kind of notorious for loving to plug it in everywhere.
Yep.
They are some high testosterone horny mofos.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let's see. So
They're some serious freaks. But hey, Japan, you're not that far. You're not that far away from us. If not, maybe we're not that far away from you. Far behind you in terms of freaking kinks. Jesus, man.
I yeah, well, it yeah.
It would not.
Anyways,
It would not. It would not. It would not. It would not. It would not shock me if there was this anime porno called Eat Shit and Die.
oh. So, let's see. Do you want me to ask about silver?
Yeah, let's get into silver. Actually, let's continue with this video a little
Okay,
bit.
okay, yeah, for sure.
It's not that long.
Okay.
Trump says he'll make it a permanent. He'll make permanent budget cuts recommended by Doge. Chairman Hill introduces bill digital asset market structure legislation. Nice. So what what are we looking at here?
I recognize Tether. I recognize Ethereum, Bitcoin, of course, and where do I don't see XRP oh, there's Ripple. Yeah, Ripple.
Where?
Right there where it kind of looks, it's a 3-leaf clover.
This?
Yeah.
Where my mouse is?
And there's Doge. I don't recognize all of them because I don't have all of them, but
Oh, but this is
recognize a
Ripple.
few.
So Oh, this is Bit Cash, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bitcoin, Bit Cash. This is Ripple. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Shiba, but
Mm-mm.
but oh, is this T? What's this?
That's Tether.
Tether. I might look into at least a fraction of that.
I don't know that it's well. Okay, don't take it from me. Do your own research on that. I can't tell anyone what to do, what not to do, and it's none of my business. And I'm
I
not
think
an expert
I think
anyway.
I think Trump
I
coin
know what I
will go up.
follow and what I put my money on, but that's as far as I know, honestly. And but you have to do your own research when it comes to, you know, the rest of it, and I can't tell you about that.
That's fair. The bill reassures America's position as a global leader in digital assets. SEC. Okay.
Ripple Swift is updated.
Swit.
XRP are the
Ripple.
future. Okay. XRP and R Ripple.
R
USD
Ripple RL at USD.
are the
Oh,
future.
Ripple US dollars? Are are they it, uh I think Ripple is actually going to be I think that I think Ripple, by the looks of this, Ripple's going to even back the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so XRP, so Ripple's going to be backed by gold, and then Cash would be backed by Ripple, so it would basically be backed by gold by proxy. This is the gold standard.
Yes.
Nesara, Gesara. Institutional adoption
of XRP lending
lending.
accelerates.
Fantastic. So make sure you motherfuckers at least get a, even if it's a 1 or 2 XRP, even if it's a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of out there, but get it while it's low, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Get it while it's low.
Yeah. Should I ask about silver now?
Yeah, if you'd like, absolutely.
Okay. What is? Do you want to ask for this month or?
I would say this is the end of this month.
The end of this month. Okay. So
Yeah.
what is the outlook for silver the end of this month, dear spirit? Please answer me honestly, clearly, and in a way that I can understand. Okay. Silver. What is the outlook for silver by the end of June, the beginning of July? What could we see for silver? First, see for silver. Will it remain how it is, or will it increase? Will it decrease? What is the trajectory? Page of Wands. So that's there might be a slight increase, but not a whole lot by then, because it's a page, so it's not a knight or a king. Oh, but it will be King of Cups. So I think in the coming year it will increase, but the end of the month to July, I don't think it's going to increase that much. It might increase a little bit. There will be an increase, but it won't be it won't be like, but I think later in the year we will see it increase. What about next year? What is the trajectory for silver next year? 25 going into 2026. Three is, oh, that doesn't look good. What does that mean? Okay.
Hearts are about to be destroyed, or their disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
But who is it going to disappoint?
Okay, could I get a clarifier on that? Because that seems weird. Knight of Wands. I don't know. It could be.
Is it wait, Knight of Wands? So are they going? It's going to disappoint the puppet masters.
Possibly. And also it may be hard to get. So for those that didn't invest in it, and again, this is entertainment purposes, I gotta say that. It could be that for those who don't have it, they may feel disappointed because it will be hard to get, and because it won't be as accessible, I'm guessing. That could the mind, that's what's
either not as acceptable, or maybe not as accessible, but it's gonna shoot up a little bit more out of price, because then it's hot. Everybody goes after certain trends. So if it ends up becoming a trend, then
so I mean, I did see it go up in value later this year, though. Like, I'll tell you when. My guess it'll be around between fall and winter. In the fall and winter months, we'll see it go way up. But and it might even go a little bit up in the summer. But I just don't know how much. Probably not a whole lot. Maybe $50, maybe $100, possibly. But
$100, or even for silver, that's not bad.
Maybe 50, yeah, maybe 40, 50
an ounce.
Least. Okay, will silver go up between $40 to $50 within the next 3 months? Are we looking at 40 to 50 an ounce? Thank you. Oh, not yet. I got the dub. Oh, so maybe it could be that the elites are not letting it.
Yeah, they're not gonna let that. They're not gonna let that slide. Silver is very.
Something has to die. The alliance is working on it, but yeah, they're kind of behind the scenes. They're doing everything they can to happen, because once we have that, it's the end of them. But eventually it will, because I did get 10 of Pentacles. It's just not. And maybe if it does happen this year, it'll probably be in the winter time or after the fall, like late fall, winter. That's what I'm saying. So, but it will. It's just not as we would think. But who knows? I could be wrong, or things could change. Who knows?
Well, thus far, I mean, it is it does look promising.
Yeah, I think so. But let me ask about XRP in this month, because I'm just gonna do a one card pull for XRP. Because it seems to be going down right now, like it was going up, and then the last I saw it was going down again. So I want to know, will XRP go up over $3 this month. Will it go? Can we expect a $3 per XRP or more within this month of June? Okay. Yes, King of Pentacles. That's a yes. So at
No.
least dollars, we could see at least $3 or more dollars, minimum $3. So that's good.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is so. This is actually making me wonder. Hold on. I want to look at as your. You just that just made me that just made me think of something. Hmm. Uh. Hmm. I was. Huh. This is. But yes. That was that was actually fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know this is kind of shorter than usual, but I'll be sure to have something a lot more structured and a lot more unprecedented for Friday. But thank you so very much for coming on, Celeste. You're awesome.
Oh, well, thanks
And
for having me. It was fun. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and I'll and please everybody like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. You have a
Sounds good. Have a good night.